Good morning 10th class students. Welcome again to our new method of teaching video class. Yesterday we discussed about the geography chapter number 1, resource and the development. So before we move ahead, I would like to make you revise the previous or the last part of the chapter. As we consider the resource, there are two types of resources named natural resources and the man-made resources. First of all, we discuss about the man-made resources. It is in two parts or the two qualities, just like as the quality resource and the quantity. It is for the number and it is for the quality. Natural number are also classified into two parts, renewable and non-renewable. Renewable resources are those which we can receive after use, just like as water, wind, etc. And non-renewable, those if we use one time, we will not receive again. We can divide it into two parts again, recyclable and non-recyclable. Recyclable, which we can use for once, twice and again, and non-recyclable, which we can't use. If we use it one time, it will be finished. Recyclable, just like as the metals, and non-recyclable, just like as the fossil fuels. Now if we discuss about the classification, so on the different parameters we define it as the on the basis of origin. Classification on the origin, it is biotic and abiotic. Biotic, that means living, abiotic, that means non-living. Exhaustibility, if we discuss about the exhaustibility, so it is renewable and non-renewable, which we have discussed before. And again, on the basis of ownership, it is in four kinds. Individual, that means the ownership has a particular person or a particular family. Community resource, those are resources which can be used by a particular community. All the members of the community can use it. And the national resources include all the resources which we found under the boundary of a country. And in the from the coastal boundary, 12 nautical miles, that means 90 to 19.2 kilometers from the coast, all of it will consider as the national resource. As the international resource, beyond the 200 nautical miles out of the coastal boundary, it is international resource, and all the world's country have equal rights on it. Now we'll discuss about the resources on the basis of development. There are again four kinds of development. First one is the potential resource. If we discuss about the potential resources are those resources which have a capability but still we have not used them. Developed resources are those resources which we have sufficient technology and we are using them as we have a need. Next is the stock. Stock are those resources which we have but we don't have such a technology by which we can use it. Just like we know that in the water there are hydrogen and the oxygen, but we can't use because of we don't have sufficient technology. Reserves are those which we have technology, we have need, but we still currently we don't have the need, just like the water stored in the dams. As the resource, it is the free gift of nature, but human beings used it out of need. That means uncontrolled, which we don't have need, but we use that uncounted without any use. So it make a lot of problems, just like depletion of resources for satisfying the greed of a few individuals. That means a few person use and store those resources which was not in need, but they stored them. Accumulation of resources in a few hands. That's as I have say you before, that accumulation, that means some person have accumulate